Hello, my dear students. Welcome to GSS Chemistry channel. In today's class, we are going to deal with acids, bases, and salts. Second chapter of chemistry in physical sciences, particularly for 10th class students. This is lecture number 1, part number 1. Okay. We are all familiar with so many types of acids and bases. Knowingly or unknowingly, we are coming across acids and bases in our daily life. Some examples we can consider here, like lemon, you know well, tamarind, okay, tomato, sour milk, vinegar. Of course, this is specific reddants, soda water. All these we know. We are using all these. What is the content present there? That you have to know now. In the case of lemon, it contains citric acid. It contains citric acid. Tamarind contains tartaric acid. Tomato contains some other acids. Sour milk contains lactic acid. Tomato contains oxalic acid. You know pretty well vinegar. Vinegar contains acetic acid. The stinges of reddants, mainly they contain formic acid. The word formic is derived from the Latin name of reddant. Reddant means formica. Formica means reddant in Latin language. As this is produced from reddants, it is known as formic acid, which represents the origin. Similarly, you can take soda water. We are using for drinking purpose, that mainly contains carbonic acid. So you observe all these, what are present there? Simply all are acids. You see, all are acids. So these are the acids which are occurring naturally in naturally occurring substances. Similarly, we can take other lime water. We are using lime water. Lime water is nothing but calcium hydroxide. Lime water is nothing but calcium hydroxide, for which the formula you know well, CaOH twice. Similarly, you are also using baryta water in the laboratory. Baryta water is nothing but barium hydroxide. That is BaOH twice. Quicklime, dry lime is nothing but calcium oxide. Formula being CaO. Antacid tablets, whenever you feel irritation in the stomach due to the overproduction of HCl, generally we will use the opposite to its base, namely very weak base like magnesium hydroxide. That magnesium hydroxide is present in antacid tablet. Magnesium hydroxide. Formula being MgOH twice. Betel leaf is organic. It is containing alkaloid. Nitrogen containing organic compound. Cyclic compound will be there, of course. That is alkaloid. Alkaloid is an organic base. Any substance which is containing generally OH group are said to be bases. In future, you know. So all these are examples for bases. You come across all these substances in daily life. Apart from these, all these also, knowingly or unknowingly, we are using acids and bases. So, if you want to know acid and base, a solution is given to you. Whether it is acid or base, you have to know. You have to use some substance. That substance is nothing but indicator. To know whether the given solution is acidic or basic, indicator will be used. You have to know that indicators, generally we use indicators to recognize whether the solution is acidic or basic, whether the substance is acidic or basic. So first of all, you have to know indicator and its action before proceeding to the chapter acids, bases and salts, because it carries its importance in recognizing acids and bases. Then, what is meant by indicator? What is meant by indicator? If you observe carefully, all the indicators are organic substances. Those are treated as organic, weak organic acids or weak organic bases, and their salts can be taken as indicator. So, in general, all the indicators are organic substances. So, here, what is meant by indicator? A substance, organic substance, let us write. Organic substance, generally it is a dye which exhibits one color in acidic medium and different color in basic medium. So, this is the definition of indicator. It is an organic substance, don't forget. One color in acidic medium and a different color in basic medium. And that is why we are able to recognize whether the solution is acidic or basic. Right? This is the indicator. All the indicators are organic. And here some indicators are naturally occurring in plants, their flowers, their leaves, their roots. Like that, we will be having these indicators in the several parts of the plants in nature, and so those are called natural indicators. Some of the familiar indicators like methyl orange, phenolphthalein, methyl blue, Congo red, like these indicators can be prepared in the laboratory, and so those are synthetic indicators. So if you take here indicators, we will be having two types: natural indicators as well as synthetic indicators. We will be having natural indicators as well as synthetic indicators. One is natural, other one is synthetic. You have to mention them, some of them more important. One is litmus solution. One is litmus solution. It is available in the form of litmus or in the form of litmus paper like blue litmus, red litmus. So that is litmus solution or litmus paper. This is generally extracted from lichen plant. Similarly, you can take turmeric, China rose. You can use red cabbage. You can use beetroot. You can also use red cabbage, beetroot. All these are nothing but natural indicators, right? Synthetic indicators, most familiar indicators we will take here. One is methyl orange, available in the laboratory. The second one is phenolphthalein. These two are important in the 10th class level. If you want to write other indicators like methyl red, thymol blue, Congo red, like this you can write. So here the most important you have to consider litmus and turmeric are more important for us. We will consider these two for the checking of acids and bases, what type of colors are exhibited by them. Similarly, methyl orange as well as phenolphthalein, these two we will consider to check the solution whether it is acidic or basic. Okay, so that is about the definition of indicator. Don't forget, every indicator is organic substance. It may be weak organic acid or weak organic base. It is generally a dye. A dye is nothing but a colored compound. Generally, they are dyes which shows one color in acidic medium and different color in basic medium, and that is why these indicators can be used to distinguish between, to differentiate between, to identify acids and bases. Right? Okay, please note it. Now let us take some examples. Blue litmus, red litmus, turmeric, these are the natural indicators. They are derived from the plant source. And methyl orange, phenolphthalein, Congo red, thymol blue, etc. These can be prepared in the laboratory, synthesized in laboratory. So these are synthetic indicators. Mostly we will use methyl orange, phenolphthalein and blue litmus in the laboratory to testing the solution, to test the solution. So now if you take two bottles, one is containing acid, other one is containing base. Into the acidic solution, drop blue litmus paper. What is the change that is taking place there? Just observe. Acid changes, blue litmus is turned to red. So blue litmus turned to red. Base, if you take blue litmus paper, dip it in base, there is no change. No change. That means no action. Blue litmus remains as it is. Similarly, if you take red litmus paper is dropped into acid solution, there will be no change at all. Similarly, if you take a basic solution like sodium hydroxide, and this will be turned to blue. Turmeric is generally yellow. When the turmeric solution is dropped in acidic, the yellow color is retained. In the case of acid, in the case of base, turmeric solution turns to red. Similarly, you can take methyl orange and phenolphthalein. Methyl orange is originally having light orange color. Name itself indicates the color. When methyl orange is dropped in acidic stage, take acidic solution, just 1 or 2 drops. This is solution. This is solution. This is also solution. You are taking. This is also solution. You are taking. Of course, this is paper. So when methyl orange solution, 1 or 2 drops of solution is dropped into the acid solution, what happens? It turns to pink color or red color. Turn to red methyl orange. Same methyl orange when dropped into basic solution, the solution is turned to yellow. The whole solution, the basic solution is turned to yellow. The acidic solution is turned to red. When methyl orange 1 drop is added, just indicate is always added in small amounts if it is solution. Similarly, you can take phenolphthalein, it is a colorless solution, and just 1 drop of phenolphthalein solution is added to acidic solution like HCl, like HNO3, like H2SO4, any acid solution. Then what happens there? Phenolphthalein here remains colorless in acidic solution, and same phenolphthalein by the addition of 1 drop to base, the whole basic solution is turned to pink color. Pink color. If you want, you can take China rose, which is young rose color. In the case of acidic medium, it is deepened, the color is turned to deep pink color. And in the case of base, China rose will be turned to green. If you want, you can add this also. China rose is synthetic, not synthetic, natural. You can take China rose also if you want. To thick, turn to thick rose, thick pink color. And in the case of base, the solution is turned to green. Generally, if the litmus solution you are taking neither acid, neither base, the solution is neutral. In such a case, what is the color exhibited by litmus? It is not interested, of course. The color that is exhibited in the case of neutral solution is said to be purple. It will be having purple color. It is of course not that much important. So these are the different colors given by the indicators. All these indicators, natural and synthetic, in acidic medium and basic medium. Okay, please note it. Okay, one more indicator let us consider, that is olfactory indicator. All the indicators are color changing indicators, which are synthetic and natural. All these are color changing indicators. There are some other indicators for which the smell is changed. So smell changing or taste changing indicators are also there. Out of which you have to consider an olfactory indicator, a substance whose odor, smell changes in acidic or basic media. Either in acidic medium or in basic medium, if you take in one of the medium, the odor will be completely changed. Sometimes it may emit bad smell. So examples being here, onion chips, clove oil, vanilla essence, etc. These are the generally used olfactory indicators. And you can do the experiment also in the activity, as mentioned in our textbook. Take onion chips, and along with some new cloth, it is placed in a plastic bag. It is completely tightened, and then it is kept in the fridge for overnight. Next day, pick it out and take the 2 cloth pieces which are along with onion in the plastic bag. Remove these 2 pieces. Separately place them on separate papers or separate plastic papers or plates. Add 1 drop of acid to one paper. add 1 drop of base or 2 drops of base to the other paper. They are washed with water. Those washings are collected. If you smell it, the paper for which the base is added, if you take the smell of that solution, that will be emitting bad smell. So the smell of onion is changed, order of onion is changed. And in the case of acidic medium, the order is not changed. There is no change at all. In this way, which is acid, which is base can also be indicated by using olfactory substances like onion and clove oil, vanilla. The same action will be repeated with the clove oil and vanilla also. Add 1 or 2 drops each to base and acid and smell them. Which is having color, order change, which is not having not having change, that you can recognize. That which is having change is base, which is not having change can be treated as acid. So this is the test for the olfactory substance. Okay. So this is about the indicators history. Okay. Now we will consider examples of acids and bases, and then the properties of acids and bases in detailed manner. Okay. Please note it.